Are you a child actor or an expert? How would you describe yourself? Greta, who was filming your arrest in Germany? Because it looked like you did that in several takes, didn't you? You were posing with the police.
It's very likely that the German police and our WEF fossil fuel company would stage an arrest.
Well, how many times were you arrested? Because
yeah, you know, it's not led us anywhere specifically good, has it? We can only look at where we're headed, and these are the people who are in charge, the people who own the wealth and who are investing in fossil fuels, etc. So, and yet they are the ones we expect to solve the climate crisis when it's people are affected by it that we should be listening to.
Yes, Greta went viral recently after a lot of backlash on social media, people speculating that her recent arrest in Germany was staged. Now, this is her responding to questions if this was staged. And she is laughing at reporters.
Of the land and creating the droughts and melting the ice and raising the sea level and causing these waves of climate refugees predicted to reach 1 billion in this century. Look at the xenophobia and political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. What about 1 billion? We would lose our capacity for self-governance on this world. We have to act. So in answer to your question, I would say we have to have a sense of urgency much greater than we have yet had, and we need to make some changes.
Watching these people, you will realize there is something going on. It is like a fiction movie. Recently, former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair won a digital database that will monitor, track down people who are vaxxed. From this database, they will know if you are vaxxed or not.
You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for vaccines, you've got to have a proper digital infrastructure, and many countries don't have that. In fact, most countries don't have that.
Daily Mail published an article bringing out a reality you have not seen. Former VP has made 330 million with climate alarmism. Former VP made a fortune after losing to George W. when he set up a green investment firm now worth 36 billion. That pays him 2 million a month. As he warned about rain bombs and boiling oceans, when I came across this clip, it was frightening. The way he sounds on this clip, what exactly is actually going on?
Are we going to bring these emissions down? And just to put the science in a slightly different context, people are familiar with that thin blue line that the astronauts bring back in their pictures from space. That's the part of the atmosphere that has oxygen, the troposphere, and it's only 5 to 7 kilometers thick. That's what we're using as an open sewer. If you could drive a car straight up in the air at interstate highway speeds, you'd get to the top of that blue line in 5 minutes. And all the greenhouse gas pollution would be below you. We're still putting 162 million tons into it every single day. And the accumulated amount is now trapping as much extra heat as would be released by 600,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day on the Earth. That's what's boiling the oceans, creating these atmospheric rivers and the rain bombs and sucking the moisture out of the land and creating the droughts and melting the ice and raising the sea level and causing these waves of climate refugees predicted to reach 1 billion in this century. Look at the xenophobia and political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. What about 1 billion? We would lose our capacity for self-governance on this world. We have to act. So in answer to your question, I would say we have to have a sense of urgency much greater than we have yet had, and we need to make some changes.
Yes, this is how he makes his money. According to this article, the mission statement of the investment firm were Gore collects $2 million in a monthly salary is to back companies that are making strides toward going green. This firm is worth around 36 billion. He proudly said of his role at the fund when it launched was that of a figurehead saying, "I'm not a stock picker." When you take a look at this article, you will clearly see that they are struggling to bring out the reality about him. So you see exactly how he makes his money. He collects these salaries and he tempted that the salary goes into companies struggling to go green. Reasons he is taking these monthly salaries.
Time to do that. We have to start that now, because to build that workforce that is going to manage the extra 250,000 deaths that we're going to see from climate change, the growing non-communicable disease, the existing disease that is already there, we already know that that's a win-win.
We are now facing something deeper: mass extinction, air pollution, undermining ecosystem functions, really putting humanity's future at risk. This is a planetary crisis.
This is a safety crisis, but above all, it is also a justice crisis. Many areas in the world are uninhabitable. This uninhabitable zone is increasing. If we continue with our greenhouse gas emissions, then by 2070, as many as 3 billion people will live in uninhabitable zones.
Yes, World Economic Forum declared a planetary and justice crisis. Like you have seen, that is not all. Moderna CEO says he wants to have mRNA factory on every continent. Moderna chief executive Stefan said he would like to have factories making vaxx based on its mRNA technology on every continent as the US company prepares to build 4 more factories.
We're here today to share the findings of the World Economic Forum's Global Security Outlook Report 2023. This is a result of research in collaboration with the forum's communities and our partner Accenture, in which we've interviewed and sought input from over 300 executives globally. The most striking finding that we found is that 93% of cyber leaders and 86% of cyber business leaders believe that the geopolitical instability makes a catastrophic cyber event likely in the next 2 years.
In the next 2 years, we are going to experience something we have not seen before. They have been talking about cyber attacks. You can hear it there clearly. So you have to prepare yourself for what is coming. There was a spiritual leader in Davos, and this is what she said.
And also our faith leaders. They know that this crisis is much more than physical and environmental schisms. We have a deeply wounded spirit as a people that is in desperate need of healing and restoration. And we must look to our Almighty Creator to find our proper place in humanity, our proper place as that